This is your Adventist News, a service of the South Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. I'm Tamika Fox. In this week's broadcast, World Adventure Day is celebrated around the conference, and Children's Ministries conclude Autism Awareness Series. These stories and more on this week's Adventist News. World Adventure Day was met with much enthusiasm and excitement here in the South Bahamas Conference. On May 17th, the adventurers celebrated the 36th anniversary under the theme, Travel with Faith, reminding the little ones that this life's journey requires trust and faith to follow God's call. The day began with adventurers participating in their local churches, leading out in praise and worship, prayer sessions, and even presenting sermons on biblical characters who demonstrated great faith in God during their travels. In the evening, a joint service was held at the Living Faith Church. The program featured music, poetry, and a creative retelling of biblical heroes who traveled with faith by the adventurers. The speaker for the service was Bradley McPhee of the Redemption Church, who emphasized that no one is too young to serve God.
Never let anyone tell you you cannot serve the Lord because of your age. You are never too young to serve Jesus. The prophet Jeremiah was 17 years of age when God called him to serve, but his purpose was destined even before that. The Bible tells us that belief in God and the joy of having a close relationship with him is something for all ages.
McPhee also reminded the church of its responsibility to nurture, guide, and encourage children to grow in faith and service. The celebration continued where a global exhibition was held at the Breath of Life Church grounds. The children learned about different cultures from the featured countries of the exhibition, including India, Ghana, Haiti, Peru, and Guyana. Let us continue to encourage our adventurers as they learn to grow their faith in God. To conclude its Autism series, the Children's and Adolescent Ministries Department held a charm training at the Breath of Life Church on May 3, 2025, under the theme, Learning Practical Techniques for Teaching Children and Adolescents with Autism and Related Disorders. Led by experienced ABA therapist Joy and Josie, the training provided attendees with a mix of hands-on activities and practical tips to support neurodiverse children in both local churches and educational environments. One of the many questions asked at the session was how we can approach a child who isn't behaving like the other children. And this was what ABA therapist Josie had to say.
So if, you're doing building blocks or coloring, then there's an expectation that, even though this child is different, he still needs a paper to color. He still needs some crayons. So you try not to treat them any differently than you would any other child. You would do the same thing. But, if you're asking the other children to say, okay, color the whole picture or color inside the lines, that child might very well not be able to do that. So whatever that child does, it's just as beautiful as what the other children do, until he learns how to do it or make an approximation of what the other children are doing.
The interactive training highlighted the value of creating inclusive spaces and provide practical tools to help charm leaders, Sabbath school teachers, and educators meet the unique need of every child. Charm directors Ganesha Sims and Cindy Stewart expressed their gratitude to all who supported and attended the Charm Autism series during the month of April. And during the month of April, the Youth Department of the South Bahamas Conference launched an initiative called One Mission, One Family, One Challenge. According to Youth Director Pastor Manasseh Sims, the challenge aimed to encourage youth to adopt a more holistic approach to health.
understanding that it's more than just physical, but it's also the spiritual, also the emotional component. And we thought that it would be a wonderful way to really rally together as we seek to see the best in ourselves and each other.
The response from the community was positive, and individuals were enthused to be a part of the program.
On Tuesdays, we had youth from Nassau and even the Family Islands tuning in for the Zoom meetings. And then on Wednesdays, we had consistently between 50 up to 70 people showing up, bringing their friends for the workouts. And so it was an awesome experience. And in fact, our young people helped to distribute literature at the end of our workout program. So it was an amazing experience.
Sims also shared what a typical week looked like during the fitness challenge.
It started off on Tuesdays where we had a Zoom meeting where we had different presenters presenting on the New Start principles: nutrition, exercise, water, sunshine, temperance, air, rest, and trust in God. These were really shared in some bite-sized nuggets so that anyone at any level could take it and be a part of it. And then on Wednesday afternoons, we had faith and fitness with our director, instructor extraordinaire, who directed us in a workout that really taxed our bodies, but also our minds. We started off with prayer and a devotional where we actually dived into a scripture to set the course and tone for the rest of the meeting. And then it was filled with excitement as we worked out to our heart's content. And so during the entire month, every day there was a health challenge where there were different points on a checklist that individuals would have to check off as we all was in this challenge together to see the best version of ourselves in the month of April.
To those who would like to be involved in future programs like the Health Challenge, Sims has some great news to share.
And so we plan to make it an ongoing thing, whether it's going to be semi-annually or annually or tied into some other health theme programs of the church or some summer youth programs, but we definitely want to do it again because we know it has impact.
When we return, we'll have more on what's coming up in the South Bahamas Conference.
I am T. Milton Lewis, President of the Adventist Educators Association. Did you know that suicide is a leading cause of death and affects people of all ages? Suicide is a serious public health problem and has a far-reaching impact. Resources are available to prevent suicide. Hope is possible. Reports of suicide and suicide attempts are on the rise in the Bahamas. Last year, there were 8 suicides. This year, there have already been 9. It is unclear what is driving this increase. However, the trend is disturbing. Too many are ending their lives prematurely. According to the World Health Organization, 73% of suicides occurred in low and middle income countries in 2021. To this end, I invite you to join the South Bahamas Conference Education Department in conjunction with the Seventh-day Adventist Educators Association in a suicide prevention seminar at the Hillview Seventh-day Adventist Church on Sabbath, May 24th, 2025, from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Come and join us. Let us all do our part to reduce the number of suicides in our country.
Welcome back to our Adventist News. And coming up in the South Bahamas Conference. The South Bahamas Conference Education Department, in collaboration with the Adventist Educators Association, will host a crucial suicide prevention seminar on Sabbath, May 24th, 2025, from 5 to 7 p.m. Esteemed guest presenters, Dr. Sean Knowles and Dr. Stephanie Hutchinson, will share their expertise and insights on this important topic. The South Bahamas Conference will celebrate nurses this month under the theme, Encouraging, Inspiring, and Empowering Nurses for Higher Service. On May 24th, an evening Vesper will be held at the Centerville Church, beginning at 5:30 p.m. On May 31st, 2025, a special divine service will be held for nurses at the Centerville Church with speaker Pastor Kenny DeVoe. The Redemption Church warmly invites all men to attend an insightful and empowering health talk with Dr. Robin Roberts, urologist consultant, on May 24th at 5 p.m. This session will focus on important aspects of men's health. offering valuable knowledge and practical guidance to support overall well-being. Don't miss this opportunity to learn, ask questions, and take meaningful steps toward a healthier future. Join the Men's Ministries Department of the South Bahamas Conference on June 8th for a community breakfast and men's clothing giveaway. The community outreach will be held at Grandstown Church from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Men's Ministries is looking forward to serving 250 meals. If you would like to help with food service, clothing distribution, or setup, please contact 454-0816 or 341-4021. The Living Faith Church invites you to a Road to Investiture Fitness Challenge, fun run, walk, and obstacle course, Sunday, June 8th, 2025 at 7 a.m. This is more than a fun run. It's a step toward the promise of a new heaven and a new earth. Revelation 21, 1-4. Enjoy a free clothing drive, free health screening, and breakfast for sale. The Health Ministries Department, Adventist Health Professions Association, and Adventist Lay Services and Industries are traveling to Inagua from June 6th to 9th, 2025, to hold an evangelistic series and health expos. Interested individuals can contact 433-6917 or 556-0492 for more information. Interested individuals who would like to travel to Ghana from July 23rd to August 6, 2025 can contact David Williams at 433-6917 for more information. The Community Service and Pathfinder Club of Redemption Church invite all to an exciting family fun and cookout on June 8, 2025 at Charles Carter Park, Seabreeze. Bring your family, friends, and appetite for a day filled with great food, exciting games, and wonderful company. The South Bahamas Conference Women's Ministries Department invites all women to participate in this year's 2025 retreat under the theme Rescued, Restored, Renewed. The retreat will be held on Long Island from October 10th to 13th. Contact your local women's ministries leader for more information on how you can register for this year's retreat. Feel free to visit the South Bahamas Conference website at southbahamasconference.org to receive more information on all our upcoming conference events. There, you can also view a rebroadcast of our Adventist News Update, along with other local programming from our cable channel ATV 658, and read the weekly logos and the Adventist page from the Nassau Guardian.
Dental health tips. Take charge of your smile. Hi, everyone. Did you know that your oral health affects more than just your smile? It plays a significant role in your ability to eat, speak, and feel confident, and it's closely connected to your overall health as well. What is oral health? Oral health refers to the condition of your teeth, your gums, and the entire oral facial system, which includes your mouth, your jaw, and face. Without good oral health, everyday activities like eating and speaking can become difficult or even painful. Why does it matter? Unfortunately, many people experience poor oral health. In the United States, over half of children and adolescents aged 12 through 19, which is 59%, have had cavities in their permanent teeth. Nearly 90% of adults aged 20 and older have had cavities, and this percentage increases with age. This highlights the importance of taking good care of our teeth from an early age. Some of the most common conditions that impact our oral health include cavities, which is tooth decay, periodontal gum diseases, tooth loss, and oral cancers. These issues can significantly affect not only your mouth, but also your overall health and quality of life. Healthy habits for a healthy smile. The good news is that many oral health problems can be prevented. Here are some simple things you can do every day. Brush your teeth twice a day using fluoride toothpaste. Floss daily to remove plaque and food particles between your teeth. Limit foods and drinks that are high in added sugars. Visit your dentist at least once a year for checkups and professional cleanings. Follow up with additional dental visits if recommended by your healthcare provider. Your smile is one of the first things people notice, so take good care of it. Good oral health starts with small, daily habits that protect your teeth and gums for life. Let's make oral health a priority for ourselves, our families, and our communities. A healthy mouth is an essential part of a healthy life. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to smile. This has been Kenesha Sims for your health tip.
Let's go now to the Adventist News Network with our news feature from around the world.
A century of faith, resilience, and mission. The first Seventh-day Adventist church ever built in Italy has just turned 100 years old, and it has been officially recognized by the Italian government as a site of cultural and historical significance. More than a celebration, this moment marks the continuation of a story written with courage, sacrifice, and hope.
In northern Italy, among the hills of the Piedmont region, a Sabbath of celebration unfolded in Montaldo Bormida, a small village with just over 600 residents. There, the community gathered to mark a historic chapter, the 100th anniversary of the country's first Seventh-day Adventist chapel. With limited resources but strong faith, the local members managed to build the chapel, laying the foundation for a lasting Adventist presence that would continue for generations. The land was donated by one of the first local supporters of the faith, and history records that, even while facing resistance from civil and religious authorities, the early leaders stood firm, preaching, gathering, and serving. 100 years later, the simple structure, built of stone and conviction, has been officially recognized by Italy's Ministry of Culture as a site of artistic and historical significance. This recognition reinforces the church's role not only as a place of worship, but as a historical landmark preserved for future generations.
Well, that's it for our Adventist news from the South Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. To share what is happening at your church, please email your news, stories, and upcoming events to sbcadventistnews@gmail.com. To view a rebroadcast of the Adventist news along with other programming and to keep in touch with what's happening at our conference, visit our website at southbahamasconference.org. The SBC Media Network's Facebook and Instagram pages are filled with lots of materials from the Communications Department, so you would want to check those out. And remember to subscribe, like, follow, and share. You can watch and listen to programs from our radio station, Word SBC 88.3 FM, and our Adventist television channel, ATV 658. Get updates, insights, and first-hand information from the SBC Media Network as it happens. The programming from the ATV 658 can also be viewed on the South Bahamas Conference YouTube channel. So, feel free to watch a recap of our Adventist news. On behalf of our production team, it was our pleasure to bring you tonight's news update. I'm Tamika Fox for the SBC Media Network. Have a happy Sabbath.